Dear students, welcome to this second part of the first lecture, that is the introduction to the spectroscopy. Now in last part we have discussed about the electromagnetic spectrum, what is the meaning of electromagnetic radiation, then various terms that are associated with the electromagnetic radiations. Now we have in short discussed also which are the different electromagnetic radiations that are occurring on the electromagnetic spectrum, starting from the gamma rays to the radio waves. Here we have seen that these gamma rays are considered as the rays which are having the shortest wavelength, while the radio waves which are considered as the long wavelength. So if the short wavelength is there, there will be high energy, high frequency, because we know energy is inversely proportional to the wavelength and directly proportional to the frequency. So here the gamma rays are having generally wavelength of 0.2 to 1 angstrom unit. Further, if we proceed from gamma rays to the X-rays, X-rays are having the wavelength of the 1 angstrom to the 10, means gamma rays which are ranging from 0.2 to 1. From 1 to 10 there will be X-rays, and after X-rays there will be starting with the ultraviolet radiations. Further, ultraviolet radiations can be divided into three parts. One is vacuum ultraviolet, second one is plain ultraviolet, and third one is the visible region. So vacuum ultraviolet ranges from 1 to 180 nanometer, while ultraviolet region ranges from 180 to 400 nanometer, and visible range ranges from the 400 to 800 nanometer. Sometimes it is also considered as a 750 nanometer. Generally, so this region is known as the 400 to 800 nanometer, and which is the visible region. As I said, these are nothing but the electromagnetic radiations. Only electromagnetic radiations that are present in this visible region, they are only observed by the human eye. So why we are going to see different colors? Because here you can see, we can differentiate between this violet color as well as the red color also. Here we can see the whatever this violet color is there, that violet color is having shorter wavelength, so that we can say they are having more energy as compared to the red. Red color is having longer wavelength as compared to the violet, and they are having the less energy as compared to the violet. So because the different rays are emitted by the objects which are having this color, and due to which human eye perceives as a different colors due to the difference in the wavelength as well as the energy of this electromagnetic radiation. Further, from visible light we can move toward the infrared region. The infrared region which is from ultraviolet, it ranges to the from 0.7 to the 200 micrometer. Means now from nanometer we have converted scale into the 0.7 or 0.8. 0.8 micrometer is nothing but the 800 nanometer. So from 0.8 micron to the 200 micron, this infrared region proceeds. This is the biggest region of the that is present on the electromagnetic spectrum. Infrared region is also divided into the three parts, that is the near infrared, infrared and far infrared. Infrared region ranges from 0.8 to 2.5 micron, while the near infrared region from 0.8 micron to the 2.5 micron. From 2.5 micron to the 15 micron, the region is known as the infrared, and far infrared region from 15 micron to the 200 micron. Further, from infrared region we can shift towards the microwaves. Even here you can see the wavelength becomes bigger, so that these are having the lowest energy. So microwave region ranges from 0.1 mm to the 1 centimeter wavelength. So this much amount of wavelength is present for the microwaves. Further from microwaves we can go towards the radio frequency region, which is having around about 10 meter to the 1 centimeter wavelength. Also these are the radiations which are of our interest. Also another radiation is there which is having a shorter wavelength as compared to the gamma rays, which is known as the cosmic rays. But for the study that cosmic rays are not useful that much, so that's why I have not included that. But still, beyond the gamma rays, one rays is there which is considered, cosmic rays are considered as the electromagnetic radiations which are having the very short wavelength than as compared to the gamma. Also means cosmic rays, gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, visible rays, then infrared, microwaves, radio waves. So this will be the chain of electromagnetic spectrum that is present on the electromagnetic spectrum. So this is about the different radiations that are present in the electromagnetic spectrum. Now we will come to the our important part, that is the spectroscopy, because to study the spectroscopy we require the what is the properties of electromagnetic radiations, which are the different electromagnetic radiations. So I have considered. Now in this part just we will discuss the definition for the spectroscopy and different broad two types of the spectroscopies. Now here you can see definition of spectroscopy. Spectroscopy is the measurement and the interpretation of electromagnetic radiations absorbed or emitted when the molecule or atoms or ions of sample moves from one energy state to the another state. In spectroscopy what we are going to do, now we know about the energy, one statement about the energy, that energy cannot be created, cannot be destroyed, only it can be converted from one form to the another form. So in spectroscopy what we are going to do, we are going to carry out the measurement and interpretation of electromagnetic radiations which are either absorbed by or the emitted. For example, in normal spectroscopy what we are going to do, we are going to bombard the sample with the different electromagnetic radiations. Now we have seen electromagnetic radiations are nothing but these are the energy. So when this energy, that is the electromagnetic radiation, falls on a sample, some amount of energy is either absorbed, so due to which what happens, the whatever the initial intensity of energy is there, that will reduce, and these particular molecules will go to the excited state, and at excited state they does not remain at that position. Further they come to the ground state, and while coming to the ground state they will emit the energy. So the spectroscopy involves the measurement of either absorbed radiations or the emitted radiations by that molecule or the atoms. So they can be utilized for determination of different quantitative terms. So this is nothing but the spectroscopy. Broadly, spectroscopy is divided into the atomic spectroscopy and molecular spectroscopy. Atomic spectroscopy means what? It deals with interaction of electromagnetic radiations with atoms, which are most commonly in their lowest energy state called the ground state. As I said, the atomic spectroscopy is only related to the interaction of electromagnetic radiation with the atoms. Generally, atomic spectroscopy is shown by the monoatomic molecules, and in this case, due to the interaction of monoatomic molecules, for example chlorine, bromine, so they are present generally in the gaseous state. So due to the interaction of electromagnetic radiation with these monoatomic molecules, that results into the transition of the electron energy levels. Means electron energy levels means what? There are three different types of energy levels are involved in the atoms or the molecule. One is the electronic, second one is the transitional and vibrational. In atomic spectroscopy, only due to the interaction of the atoms, it results in the electronic transition in the energy levels. So what happens in this case? The normally gaseous molecules, they are present at their ground state. So when energy falls on these molecules, they absorb this certain amount of energy, and due to which gaining this energy they go to the excited state. At that excited state, they does not remain for longer time, and they come to again to the ground state, and while coming to the ground state they will emit certain amount of energy. So means there these particular electronic transitions that are occurring due to the different types of bonds that are present in that particular atom or the molecule. Means in atomic spectroscopy only there will be changes in the electronic energy of that particular molecule. So mainly monoatomic substances which are existing in gaseous state, they show atomic spectroscopy. For example, atomic absorption spectroscopy and flame photometry. This is generally utilized for the monoatomic molecules. Further, second part is molecular spectroscopy. The molecular spectroscopy, it deals with the interaction of electromagnetic radiation with the molecules. In atomic, interaction was between electromagnetic radiation and the atom, while here the interaction is between electromagnetic radiation and the molecules. Now, due to the interaction of this electromagnetic radiation with the molecule, it results in the transition between rotational and vibrational energy levels. If you remember, in atomic spectroscopy we have seen there is a transition between only electronic energy levels, but here in addition to electronic transition there will be the transition between the rotational and vibrational energy levels, and as all three different types of energies are involved in this case, due to which whatever the spectra that is obtained in molecular spectroscopy is quite complicated as compared to the atomic spectroscopy. Examples of molecular spectroscopy: ultraviolet spectroscopy, IR spectroscopy, colorimetry. These are the various examples of the molecular spectroscopy. So here we will, so this is about the introduction of the spectroscopy, where we have seen what is the meaning of spectroscopy and which are the different broad types of the spectroscopy depending upon the atomic as well as the molecular level. Next time we will discuss, or we will start with the one of the spectroscopy technique, that is the ultraviolet spectroscopy. Thank you.